Okay, so today we're going to talk about the fundamentals of this business. It really comes down to 5 key things that you need to be doing on a regular basis. And the first fundamental is building your list. And so we've already begun working on that. You should already have at least 50 names on that list. Remember, I told you that if I would give you $100 for every name on that list, how many names would you put on that list? So keep adding names every single day. The fastest way to put names on that list, honestly, is to go look at your friends list or your follower list from Instagram or Facebook and write all those names down. I don't want you to pre-qualify any of those people because you have no idea what they might be looking for, whether they want to get healthier, whether they want to lose weight, maybe they just want more youthful looking skin, or they do want to make extra money. And just because they might not want to quit their job and do something completely different doesn't mean they aren't a candidate to bring extra income into their home. So keep building that list. It's so important as we continue to get paid to sign up more customers and build our team. Okay, the second fundamental is all about connecting and inviting. And so we know people do business with people they know, like, and trust. By the way, you're going to hear me say things over and over and over again, but that's because I want you to remember these important principles when it comes to building your business. And so, connecting can be as simple as doing some commenting and engaging on social, or it can be as simple as picking up the phone, sending a text message, and just continuing to keep that relationship growing. Somebody said to me when I first started my business, you get paid to do 2 things. You get paid to help your friends and you get paid to make new friends. And that's what connecting is all about. Is there anything you'd add about the connecting piece, especially through social?
Yeah, definitely. So when you're engaging online, you want to make sure that you are really stepping into other people's lives to show them that you're engaged with them as well. And I recommend commenting at least 6 words whenever you're commenting on someone's post. You're also going to spend maybe 10 minutes engaging with people via a hashtag, something that you're passionate about. Or maybe it's a location that you're visiting a lot. I would engage 10 minutes there as well. Engaging before you put up a post is also so important.
Okay, so like before I'm actually going to make a post, if I go do some commenting and engaging, like you're saying, commenting, then when I actually make my post, the algorithm will help mine be seen more. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, and they're more likely to come over to your page and show you some love as well. And also going through your own feed on social for about 10 minutes and commenting and interacting is so important.
Ooh, I really like that. When I think about connecting or how I'm going to engage with somebody, I've learned that I've got to listen more than I actually talk, or when I decide to talk, I need to ask more questions, because often if I'm listening for something that, like, I use a simple saying, look for a want, need, or a hate. Mm-hmm. And if you can hear something they want, if you hear something they need, or something they do not like, typically we can create a solution for it with our business or our products. And so that's another great way that I've always found to connect with people in a space where they're at, and how our business can be a solution for that. So, all right, now let's talk about the inviting part of this fundamental. And we want to get more time with them. I know a lot of times social media is a great way for us to engage with people, but by inviting them to learn more, it gives us an opportunity to go a little deeper in a product that they're interested in, or simply talking more about the business and what we love and letting them ask more questions. And obviously it's a great way to get to know people better when you get face to face with them. So you're building online. How do you invite, or take it from just connecting to inviting?
So one thing I want to challenge you on is reaching out to your dream team. Who do you think would be incredible at this business? Or like Cami said, when you're listening online, who's talking about losing weight? Who needs more energy? Don't be afraid to reach out to those people. So when it comes to who do you want on your dream team and you're making that list, you're simply going to reach out to them and say, I've been challenged to build a dream team for my business, and you were the first person that I thought of. I would love to tell you more about what I do.
I love that, because especially when I meet somebody new that it hasn't been somebody I've been friends with for a long time, but they've got characteristics that I think, oh my gosh, they would be so good at what I do. Simply say that. When I think about doing this business, I want to do it with you, and we'll get to spend more time together. I love the challenge for the dream team for sure. Even just a simple question that says, would you be interested to earning more income? Or, hey, I know you're on social media.
Might as well get paid for it.
That's right.
Yep.
And then you can transition to get them face to face. Worst case on the phone, right? So you can keep going with that conversation. And, we've got so many different ways for you to get people more information, whether you're actually giving that information or whether you're getting them to plug into something that we're offering. You've got to give that invitation to take it to that next level. Okay, we've been talking about connecting, inviting. It's time to share it. And that's the third fundamental. And you can share it so many different ways. You can go live on Instagram or Facebook. You can get somebody in a coffee shop and you can share about our products and let them sip and sample as you tell them a little bit more about the products and the business. But you can also get on a phone with somebody and you can invite your sponsor so that you're not scared to share information, you're just learning. That's the best part about this business is it really is simple and you want to keep it simple. So some of the other ways that we share it, and we're going to support you. I mean, you can plug in with me live every month and I'm going to do a virtual Try It Works presentation where we talk about the products and we talk about the business. So all you need to do is get them to plug in. We also have an events page on our website that you can find events happening local in your area that you can attend in person. Also, as we do events virtually, you can have little watch parties in your home. You can invite people into your home in smaller group settings. It's fun. There's so many ways to share it. All right, so I know you build a lot of business online. So how do you prefer to share it?
So one of the amazing things is that even though you are building online, you can be building locally online and creating that community, but then you're also going to invite them in person. Maybe it's to coffee, or maybe you just meet them at a local Panera Bread or a Starbucks. And that's when you can tell them more in depth of what you're doing and why you're doing it. Also, getting people on the phone is so important, and voice messaging, because your relationship online with someone will only go so far. And so you want to let them know, listen, I'm a real person. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm passionate about. And letting them hear your voice will take your relationship with them to the next level.
So I know you like to build a lot of your business online, but how do you share it?
I love sharing it online, and I think that it's so important, but getting people on the phone and sending voice messages is also so important, where they can hear your voice and listen. I know that it might be uncomfortable, but I promise it will be so worth it to take your relationship to the people who are on your online community to the next level.
Okay, so obviously we don't join and already know exactly what to say. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the reason why live every month we're going to do a virtual Try It where you can get people in front of us and we can tell the story for you, but it also gives you an opportunity to hear it over and over and get more familiar with talking about the products and talking about the business. And you've said something to me a few times. You're like, I've even practiced with a prospect on the phone because...
Yeah, absolutely. Practice going live. Practice, getting on a phone call. Both of those are so important. And the more you do it, the better you will become. So success leaves clues. So as you're watching leaders and as you're watching Cami, doing the live videos, take notes on how is she presenting it? How short is the video? Those types of things are so important.
Well, and it won't be long until things are just falling off the tip of your tongue very naturally because you've heard it so many times. Mm-hmm. And it
doesn't have to be perfect either. No one expects it to be perfect. And so I want you to know that if you are jumping on your first live or if you are getting on a phone call, it is okay that it's not perfect.
And even say when you're talking to someone for the first time, just say, okay, I've literally talked to 1 or 2 or 3 people. So if you have any recommendations for me, I would love to hear it.
Yeah.
Because then it takes the pressure off of you and then it doesn't feel so stiff to them either. And hey, maybe they've done something like this before and they've got some feedback for you, or maybe they haven't, but still, you just don't know where that's going to take you. So I like it when I've heard the people say, share it and call it a practice party.
Yep.
So that the people that you're talking to know you're brand new and that they'll be gentle with you as well. Mm-hmm. All right. So you definitely got to share it. And I want you to share it at least once a day as you start building your business bigger and bigger. All right, now it's time to talk about how we're going to seal the deal. As a matter of fact, the fortune is in the follow-up. And so this is a very important fundamental. A lot of times we'll talk to somebody about what we're doing 1, maybe 2 times, or we hear the word no and we think they're saying no, not ever. And what I've realized is no never means not ever. It just means not right now. And so the fortune is in the follow-up. And I think I've heard it take 7 points of communication on average for someone to actually take advantage of what you're offering. And so you've got to be consistent and you've got to continue to follow up. And I'm just curious, because you're building a lot on social, what's some of your strategy to have consistent follow-up?
Well, as you guys know, your business is built on following up. So I am following up every 2 days, sometimes every 7 days. It really just depends on the person.
Okay, so, there's been times where, well, I'll talk about myself, for example. I heard about this business and I was not interested in it at that time. But fast forward a couple years, I'm a brand new mom. I'm thinking, I don't want to go back to teaching right now. I want to be home with my baby. So something changed in me. So also the consistency of follow-up, things change. People go through transitions, and on that day where they're at a point in their life where they're ready for what we have, you want to make sure you're the first person that they think about. And so having that consistent follow-up strategy is going to be really important. I know some people do follow-up Fridays. I know for me that if I talk to somebody, I have their name in a note on my phone, and I actually write the last date I talked to them and what we talked about. And then I go schedule the next time I'm going to talk to them. It might be 2 days out, it might be 2 weeks out, it might be 2 months out. And I have heard people tell me no. Do you know what I say to people who tell me no? I simply say, no right now, or like, no, not ever. And rarely do they say no, not ever. And even if they do, I might put them on my list to contact when a new product comes out or we have a promotion. And so that I have a reason to reach out to them again in a friendly way. So make sure that you're doing your follow-up. That's where you're going to seal your deal. And I mean, obviously, when we're having an event in our home or we're sitting over coffee, we want them to sign the dotted line right then and there. So if you can get them to say yes in that moment, absolutely do that. Take advantage of it. But if they're not ready to make that decision right then, make sure you're very good at following up, checking in. If they've tried a product, how do they feel? If they've, maybe how are your results continuing? Or just, hey, I know payday, you were waiting for payday. Maybe that was the reason they couldn't do it right then. But the bottom line is you've got to seal the deal, because just giving them the information and then just smiling at them, rarely do people know that, what are the next steps. So you got to tell them what the next steps are. So do you want to earn some product, or do you want to get paid while you're sharing it? Just give them some options. All right, so we said there's 5 fundamentals, and the final fundamental is duplication. And this really is modeling what you're doing to build your business day in and day out. And you might be thinking, duplication? I don't have a team yet. That's okay. That's the goal. You're going to have a team. And as you start bringing new people into this business, you're not just going to tell them what to do, you're actually going to do it with them. And so as we talk about things like building your list, connecting and inviting, sharing the business with people and sharing the products, and then sealing the deal, as you're doing that for your own business, you're going to bring those people that join your team along with you. So maybe that looks like, you literally walk through what it looks like to build your business every day, or they spend the day with you and they do those things with you. Or perhaps you have, as your team grows and it becomes larger and you can't work one-on-one with everybody, you're going to start implementing power hours every day, and you're going to actually contact together. You're actually going to make posts on social media together. You're going to do follow-up on Fridays together. And so it's not just your thing, it becomes a team thing. And so yes, you want to be doing these things we've been talking about for yourself, but as you continue to grow your team, you're going to want to make sure that your team is doing these things as well. So you're going to have to talk about it, but then you're going to want to model it, of course, too. Is there anything else that you're doing that might be a little different?
I think that, I agree with you. There's not much different, because the simplicity is the beauty of this business. Definitely power hours and finding what works for you. So it's a great time to come together and mastermind, this post is working, this message is working, here's what I recommend doing, because I'm not doing anything different than you're going to be doing in your business. We're all doing the same thing.
And we've said over and over, you are in business for yourself, but you are not by yourself. And so what I love about the fundamental of duplication is it really is keeping this business super simple.